Sex. We all think about sex, even sooner than what we should be at an earlier age where we should be thinking about other things. But unfortunately, especially in the United States, we think about sex. There's a lot of teen pregnancy going on by the thousands, a couple of 100,000 a year. And I wanted to come and make a video about that to try to help prevent that, minimize that, because I was a teen parent. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how we can avoid teen pregnancy. When you think about what sex is and what it's actually meant for, and it's different levels: to multiply, to have children, to strengthen your mental, all that, because it helps for different things. It has many benefits. But when you think about children and teens acting in that, it's like, what's going on in the world? And I can't talk about it because I was a teen mother. I'm not proud of it. I'll go in another video and talk more detail about that. But it's an experience that, for one, I wish I didn't have. If I could take it all back, I would not have became a teen mother. I was 16 and pregnant and had my son at 17. And everything that I know now and all the struggles and all that, it's a lot. And I would definitely, in a heartbeat, would have not been a teen parent. Growing up, I was not a fast child. I was not really disobedient. I was, in fact, actually on honor roll. I was in ROTC. I had other universities sending stuff to my dad's house because I had a high GPA. I was one that you would have thought like, oh, yeah, she gonna go somewhere in life and not be sidetracked. I was the probably last one anyone would have thought to have gotten pregnant at 16. But I did get pregnant at 16. And I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why I did and why I feel that some of these teens out here in the world are getting pregnant. For one, if you have a child, a niece, a nephew, cousin, whatever, that are in their teens, and you are allowing them to date, you kind of setting them up for failure. Because for one, they shouldn't be worrying about no dating. I shouldn't have been worried about no dating at no 16 years old. When you're dating, eventually, I don't care how, especially if you didn't raise that child right, or if it's just temptation, y'all allowing them to spend too much time alone, eventually they're going to start having sex and they're going to end up pregnant, or they're going to contract some type of STD, or just be hooked onto the streets, just different type of things. So when you a parent or whoever guardian, you think it's cute that your child is dating, it's not. And it's actually a shame on you. Okay? And shame on you and shame on the teens. But when you allow your child to date, you already be bound to be a grandparent, basically. Because that's most likely, most of the time, you're going to end up pregnant. And granted, there are some relationships, they're in teens, they're not acting in that, they're just whatever. But still, I still say that focusing on dating at a teen, whether you're 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, heck, even 20, that's the wrong mindset. You need to be worrying about bettering your life. Because my channel is mostly, well, I speak to the Black community. So that's when I'm addressing people, I'm addressing my Black community. We have other things that we need to be focusing on. How to better ourselves, how to become business owners, how to better our life and situations so that we don't have to repeat cycles within our family, these broken cycles and curses and all that. We need to, figure out how we can be the difference in that. So when I just think about dating, it's just like, is that the best we can offer our children? When you look at it, when you think about prom and winter formals and just dating, it's like y'all just setting us up, y'all running us into men and women, and y'all not even preparing us for it. Y'all not sitting down to us and modeling the behavior that we need to be doing. Hey, if you're going to be dating this, you need to have your money in order, your credit score in order, your goals in order, your spirit in order, all that. Y'all parents, us parents, we're not doing that. We're just like, oh, it's cute, my son dating, he handsome, he the football star, my daughter, she cute, she got a nice figure, we'll let her date, oh, that's her boyfriend. It's like, what is the nonsense? It's ridiculous. So to have your child, to allow them to date, it's kind of like you're adding on to that, okay, the potential of them becoming a teen parent. Because clearly we could be thinking about many other things. There's so many young entrepreneurs nowadays that are staying focused, doing what they got to do. And that's what we need to be doing for our children, preparing them for that. Not preparing them to be single parents and single fathers and single mothers and just dependent on welfare, just all just messed up. That's not what it's for. You also want to make sure that you fully explain to your teen child how hard life is in general. And then two, how hard life becomes 10 times more when you have a child. You want to, because parents, even my dad has said this, well, I can't wait for y'all to have kids. I guess it's like for us to reap what we've been sowing, how we acted up and all that. But when you do that, you're not telling the child, the teen, the real struggles. Why the gas was off, why the lights was off, why we don't have food, why we don't have bank accounts, why our credit is not good, or why we just not set up how we should be. It's like y'all forgetting, parents are forgetting to explain the middle part. They're just showing the part, okay, ooh, the kid is cute, whatever, ooh, boom, my kid dressed nice, or my kid you're just forgetting everything in the middle. That hardcore part where I think will make or break someone from deciding that they want to be a teen parent. There's nothing cute about being a teen parent. And I understand that there's some situations where someone have maybe become a teen parent against their will. That's a different story. And even then, like, you really want to consider all options to where you can better your life after that. You know, so whatever that may be, you look into that. But you want to make sure, like, you tell them it's hard. There's nothing cute. Yeah, when they come out cute, but you got to deal with all that crying all night, all the TV, the cataract, what do you call it? The colic, not the cataract, the colic in the head, and just sicknesses, even illnesses. Babies may come out unhealthy. Are you prepared to be up and doing that? Sometimes you got to stop your whole life and just dedicate your everything, your 24 hours to that child because of an illness. Are you prepared for that? Is that what you want? Do you have life insurance? Do you know what you're going to do after? Do you have a village set up, a good role model village, a village that will be there for you 100%, will chastise you when you need right, will give you constructive criticism, and also going to be there to love you and support you and that child? Did you pick a good father? I mean, I know we're young and we teens, but did you look at the parent. Did you pick that type of father for your child? This is stuff that I wish I should have did if I was going to. I mean, I shouldn't have done it all, but I mean, if I was going to be a teen parent, I should have looked at all aspects. Not just at the moment, ooh, I love him, and just stupid non-stuff. I was just on some nonsense. And to this day, me and him not even together. He never even helped when the child was born. His mother, in fact, helped. So it's like, come on now, we got to just really be honest with our children. It's not easy. We got to be honest. There's going to be them times where we're crying and we just want to give up. Or we wish we didn't have them children. Are the father's going to step out? Are the mother's going to step out? Prepare our children properly. We got to let them know you can get your child taken. Because in the United States, although we had them, we still in modern day slavery, they're going to take our child for whatever reason. Whether it's something that we really did and our child may be taken, or something we didn't do and our child is still taken. It's like we got to fully, like, let them not even prepare, let them know, like, you sure this is what you want to do? You really think you sure this is what you want to do? We already struggling. You want to struggle more or live in poverty more with a child that you can't even provide for. I couldn't even provide for it. I had to get on welfare. You know what I'm saying? So you want to look at different things like that. It's just really sickening and saddening. When I did the research, it was just this. It was last year when I found out, I cannot quote the numbers, but I know it was in a couple of 100,000 where teens each year are having babies, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's like, hold on. Hold on. What is going on? What are our parents doing? Why we are allowing our children to date and just think it's cute, or not preparing them? Like, we got to rethink everything. And also, we got to explain to them too. You know, when you carry that child, you may die. You may develop some type of illness. You may not be the same. Anything can happen. What's the track star? She was grown, but Flojo. She died delivering to her child, if my memory serves me correct. Talk about all that. Stop trying to talk about the peaches and cream and talk about that real struggle, the risk of having children. And then especially when you're young, all that we're putting our body through. we're still growing ourselves. Don't even really know how to just provide for ourselves. Think for ourselves. And it's like we really got to let our children know, like, hey, stop. Stop the nonsense. Let's focus on something else. This ain't it. Because all we're going to do is keep repeating the cycle. Repeating the cycle. I think my mom was a teen parent. My older sister was a teen parent. I was a teen parent. Luckily, my sister, she wasn't like teen, but I think she's like 20 something when she had her child. And now I have a daughter, and I'm trying to break that cycle. She would not be no teen parent. If it was up to me, she wouldn't have children at all. But I have no control over that. But I'm going to make sure that I install in her, like, hey, yes, mommy was a teen parent, but please don't follow my footsteps. If I could do it all over, I would. And I explained to her, and I would show her my struggles and let her know, like, this is not what you want, baby. This is not. Your life is just automatically changed forever. And whatever I can do to help her, or put her in activities, or just show her the people around, even my life or her auntie's life, this is not what you want. I want better for you. And although I was a teen mother, I was able to get myself out of certain situations. I graduated high school. I'm in college. I'm trying to get myself, back together. But after all in years. And I've been failing ever since as a parent because I was not even prepared. I wasn't really even taught how to be a good parent. So what did I think in my young 16 mind that I could be a parent? It just blows my mind to this day, like, Deystany, what were you thinking? Like, I may have been kind of good in the books, but I didn't have it together clearly in my head to think that I can be a parent at 17. Like, what's really going on? And while I'm on it, like, parents, if you have a say in your child's life, whether they keep a child or not, you fully explain to them the pros and cons of everything. That way they fully know. Because I remember my dad clearly asking me, you want to keep the baby? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you sure? He asked me a couple of times, and I'm just like, yeah. And I'm like, to this day, I kind of wish he just kind of made me rethink my decision. Whether you pro-abortion or not, I wasn't prepared. And I have a son that's acting now that can eventually do something in life and affect other people's world because I'm dealing with mental issues with him. I'm dealing with him acting up, running away because his father's not there. Just a lot of stuff because I didn't fully prepare to have a child. And how could I? I was 16. Didn't know nothing. Didn't have a dime. I kind of had a couple of dollars saved up, but didn't have nothing. No investments. Didn't pick a good guy to have the child by. Just all types of stuff that I just didn't think about. And you young ladies, please consider that. Just because you're beautiful, you got long hair, you got a nice body, you're smart, your family got money, whatever it be, that most of the time, that man is still not going to be there after he sleep with you and use or whatever, or y'all have that baby, he going to bounce most of the time. And you got to think about it. Are you prepared to do that alone? And even if you did do it alone, somehow, some way, the child is still going to be neglected because the child needs two parents. Preferably the biological parent, the mother and the father. And it's like, when we having these teen parents, these children, when we're teens, we automatically, in a way, besides us being black, we're failing our children because it's hard already. It's like, what can I really teach my child? I had no other option but to get on welfare. Finish high school, rely on my aunt, because she helped raise me. Well, yes, I was still 16, 17. She helped finish raising me and my son. What kind of crap is that? I brought him into a dysfunctional situation. And if not for my aunt, I really don't know where I would have turned to because she was really there for me. And in fact, that's my favorite aunt, so hey, sugar mama. But, it's just like, we just really have to think everything over. It's not cute. It's not. It's in fact sad, devastating, heartbreaking. It's just like, we just got to do better overall. You also, to try to prevent teen pregnancy, you want to get your children involved in any type of activity that's going to keep them busy. They don't have time to be laid up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and his voice cue or his hair. You don't have time for that. You don't. If you were in an activity and you were busy, all you had time was to do the study for school, practice for that that activity that you're in, and then actually be a part of that activity. Whether it's going to the games or being gymnastics, whatever it is, running track. You don't have time for no extra stuff. Inventing something that you can sell, that you can start your business with. Doing that. Practicing your skill, your talent, whether it's singing, drawing, making clothes. If you were doing that and being proactive, you ain't got no time for no boys, no girls. If you're being responsible around the house, cleaning up, doing what you got to do, learning about business, learning about stocks, learning about different universities you want to go to, you don't got no time for that. And although I was in ROTC and I had good grades, I was just a little sneaky little girl. I was lying to my dad saying I wasn't doing this, and he would ask me, and he said, come to him. But my dad was strict. I wasn't about to tell him that, you know. But even though I was involved in those activities, I still had too much time on my hand to be laid up doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I'm protecting myself, putting my life at risk of STDs and different things. Because to this day, I don't know, he could have been sleeping with other people. You just never really know. You really want to make sure your child, from the time they get up to the time they fall asleep, that they kind of busy. I remember watching a show and a guy was, I don't know if it was TLC or what, but it was a black family. And he was basically saying every minute is accounted for. Every hour his children, and I love that structure. He may seem as strict or whatever, but they were doing something. And I guarantee you them kids didn't have time to be going around worried about no boys and sleeping with, you know, people they weren't supposed to be trying to be teen parents. I guarantee you that. And while I'm on, you gotta monitor what your children are watching. They watching 16 and Pregnant, thinking it's cute, and watching these reality shows, Love and Hip Hop, VH1, and it's just not good for the brain. That's not the real world. That's fake. It's just for views, and it's just toxic going in our young children's head. Very, very toxic. You want to just really reassess everything, because everything can go into play with it. Listen to the music, the friends they hang around, the shows that they watch, the books that they're reading, just everything, how they're dressing, everything plays into play. How much time that they're out of, when they're not in your space, how much time that they're out, how much free time you're giving them. Sometimes you got to take some of that back. Yeah, you can have company, but y'all can be in the living room or outside in the front where I'm going to monitor it. Yeah, you can go to the mall, but I'm going to be there with y'all. We just got to be more, what do you call it? You just got to be more, you just got to be around your children more. Monitor what they're doing. They own these video games. Who are they talking to? They own these social networks. What are you guys talking about? They got cell phones nowadays. Forget the cell phone, invest in some stocks that, I don't know, AT&T or whatever. We got to monitor our children, because not only are we dealing with teen pregnancy, we're dealing with depression, suicide, all types of things. So we need to be more attentive to our child. Ask our children, what would you like to do? How can we, let mommy, let daddy help you come up with a business plan? You like sewing? Okay, we're gonna get you this sewing machine. We're gonna connect you to some people that sew, and eventually you can go intern at some clothing store, whatever the brand. We have to be more proactive. Stop letting our child be lazy and they got too much time. When you got too much on your time, too much time on your hands, you're not using it wisely, you're gonna get in stuff you're not supposed to be. Whether it's alcohol, games, teen pregnancy, whatever, you're gonna get into stuff. And we have to really, really make sure that our children are busy. Even me, I need to be more, making sure my children are busy more, because they got too much time. Especially in COVID, I need to be more, boom, each hour this, each hour that. Then have their little break, free time, but I need to monitor that. Because I be dang, I will not be repeating the cycle for none of my kids. They will not be teen parents if it's up to me. And I know I got to be more stern on that and explain to them, hey, I know mommy was this and that. But with everything in me, that's one of my fears too. That my children will be teen parent, or they just like, they're not listening to mom, and they just gonna think, because I'm gonna be that parent. I don't know. I done told you, I'm trying to be different from my parents, and I'm showing you what I am doing and what the struggles, and you still choose to do it. I don't know if I could be there. Like, I don't even, if y'all knew what was going on in my head, like, this parenting thing is not a joke. It is not. And people think it's a joke. They keep on having kids. And whether you're a good parent or not, it's like, really, how much time do you have to give that child? You having more than one child, 24 hours in a day. You still got to do what you got to do. You still got to work. You still got to cook. You still got to attend to each child. How much time, which child is getting neglected and which not? Because some parents have good tendencies. Some parents have good qualities to be good parents, but it's not how you're going to evenly spread that out. And some people got it down on lock, but most people don't. So it's like, what do we keep having these kids? Whether we teens or not, what are we doing? We keep having these kids, whether we teens or not, what are we doing? It's not cute to keep sitting up. I mean, it's more to life than that. It's more than like, just because you're a woman, you don't got to be. We're more than that. We're not just mothers. We're entrepreneurs. We're leaders. We're business owners. We're educators. We're more than just being laid down to just be having kids. We're more than that. And whether you're a teen or not, we want to rethink. Rethink it, because eventually, if you're not raising these kids right, these kids going to grow up, go into the world. Now, my kids got to be affected by these, probably not directly, but indirectly, by these children that are not raised right. Those children that's going up in schools and shooting them up, and it's like, dang, we're like, what went wrong? It's just saddening. You also want to show those teens that think that they ready examples around them. Like if you have either your own examples or if you have family members or friends that went through that, allow them to talk to them. Talk to them, sense to them. This is not what you want. Allow them to see you. Look at that young girl. She's by herself, and she, you know, the sacrifice she has to make now because she's a teen mother. Let them see the real work that really, the behind the scenes. Let them see that how hard it is. Well, you ain't got no money. You got to depend on welfare to give you food stamps every month and cash aid and Medi-Cal and just different stuff. And they tell you what to do. You got to vaccinate your child because this and that. That's not what we want. We have to really just put it out there. Just go take a walk in nature. You'll see it everywhere. And especially if we're not prepared, we're just going to struggle even more. And I'm not saying struggle is not good, but if you can prevent it, prevent it. And you don't know nothing about no life at no 15, 12, 11, 13, not even at no 20. You still, not up until, like kind of when you, not until you hit your 30s, depending who you are, that's when you start to really think different and be like, okay, I want better for myself. And that's not all the way true, because I know people I went to high school, I'll be sitting on my timeline like, dang, like when y'all gonna get it? When is it gonna click? So you just gotta be aware. Look at everybody. A couple of weeks ago or a week or two ago, I had some guests on there, and she explained how she wasn't a teen parent and how she saved herself till she was 33. She said she looked at the examples and she looked at how she didn't want to be, how she wanted to be better than that. There's nothing wrong in letting our kids be better than us. They ought to be, because it should be getting better each generation, each generation. We don't need to be worrying about no boys and no girls and kissing and hugging and doing things we ain't supposed to be doing. There's nothing cute about that. Showing our body and nah. It's way more than likes in that. What is your mindset about? And I hope my sister don't get mad. I'm sorry if you do, but I got a niece. And I remember, it's just that I got a niece and I feel like I can't help her the way I could. For one, I'm in another state, but it's like, I kind of feel I'm too late to help her. Because I want her to be better than me and her mom. And I'm not saying my sister is a horrible parent. I'm just saying other things could have been done. And that's the last thing I want my niece calling me, telling me, TT Deystany, I'm pregnant. It would just really eat me alive. It would really eat me alive, because it's just like, what could I have done? I know I could do way more to help her. But it's like, okay, then what could her mother have done better? What could, it's just like the situations that we're in. We're living in times where kids at young age, even 4-year-olds, because I used to stay, some would consider it the projects. I used to stay in the projects when where I grew up at, and I would see little kids like 4 and 5 over there twisting their tail and already just acting fast. 4 and 5. So it's like, what mothers, what are we doing? It is not cute. It is not okay. To me, that's child abuse. To me, that's child endangerment. You setting your child up for failure. What are y'all doing? It's just too much. Let me get on with my list. You want to also, you want to set guidelines. I know that teens, they want to experience their life and they want to be free, but you want to set guidelines. No, you can't be going to parties if I'm not there, or, okay, you can go out, but maybe for an hour or so, but come back. Don't be allowing people to go on dates and talk to these boys and go hang out with the girls, because most of the time they're talking about, boy, they're not talking about business. Are they listening to music they shouldn't be listening to? Or are they just wasting their time? Set those guidelines. You're not going to be dressing like this. You're not going to be having makeup on and fake hair all in your hair. You're not going to be hanging around certain women that talk a certain way. You need to do research of their family too. Your kids, homeboys and homegirls, look at their family. Look at their parents. And see if that's what you want for your child. Set those guidelines. Yeah, you can have a phone, but I'm going to monitor it. So you can use your phone. You can have phone calls up until maybe 8 o'clock. But then what y'all talking about? You don't really need to be on the phone if you're not talking about something constructive. Monitor that. We getting too loose as parents, letting our kids do. I don't know if we getting tired or what, or is it just easy for us to just let our kids do whatever, but we got to do better than that. Thinking it's cute, we dressing our kids in these tight, even babies. I be seeing babies in promiscuous clothes. It's like, what the heck? Back all out, clothes skin tight. Babies. Y'all know we got pedophiles out here. Y'all just setting y'all kids up. They're going to grow up to be dressing like that. That also plays into teen parenting. Because you get these men looking and you got, especially you ain't got no daddy figure, telling them they beautiful or buying them whatever, and then eventually they giving it up. Knowing that they should know that they're, this probably should be number one. We want to explain to our children that their innocence, their precious body is a temple. It should only be given away to one person. And let me back up. When I said I wasn't a fast person, I wasn't. But what also played into me being a teen parent is I didn't know my worth. I didn't know how special my virginity was. And I kid you not, to this day, if I knew, or if my mother was in my life, or if I just knew how important it was, I wouldn't have been a teen parent. We want to explain that to our children. Your virginity is something sacred. It's special. And it should only be given to one person, and that special person. And it should be given to when you know what life's about. Not at no teens. Wait till you about 20, 30, not even 20, 30, 40, whatever, to give yourself up. It is no rush. It is no rush to be doing that. Because as soon as you do it, explain it, you're going to get them, you can get STDs. You may be getting killed because you didn't sleep with somebody's man. Explain all that. Because nowadays kids think it's cute. And even if they're not actually giving themselves up with their virginity, with their privates, they're doing it with their mouth. Explain that you can get an STD from kissing somebody on the lips. Explain all that. We got to bring back sex ed. Talk about that. That is just not cool. None of it. And parents, we got to get it. We just fell in too much. We fell in too much. We fell in. And we got all the time, because everybody in the house, we got all the time to sit our teens down. Even my 7-year-old, is he 7, 8? My 8-year-old. He kind of know a little bit about sex. He know he get STDs if he's kissing someone. If he's hunking, because he called it hunking someone. We got to be more open with our children. Stop hiding stuff and expecting somebody else to do it. No, we are children's first parents. And if you ain't waiting for that, you don't need to be having kids. Stop trying to shelter our children. We lie to our children about everything. From sex, to holidays, to Easter Bunny, to Santa Claus. Why are we lying to our kids? Tell the truth. This world is tough on us. Having children is tough. It can make or break you. And if you don't have that foundation and you're not prepared, you're going to be failing your kid. It don't matter what type of person you are. You don't have the skills, the methods. You're going to fail your kid. I kind of touched on this already. You want to really talk about STDs, and spiritual transmitted diseases, because that's real. It's sad, but it didn't really occur to me up until maybe a year or so ago that when I'm sleeping with people, when we sleep with people, that energy, all those spirits that they've been sleeping with can come onto me. And I'm like, whoa. That's why I had to slow down and was like, yeah, I need to rethink everything. Because those spiritual transmitted diseases can be worse than those sexual transmitted diseases. You just gotta really, I don't want to be too detailed. But don't be kissing people, because you can get herpes and STDs from that. Oral sex, you can get STDs. Even if you have a condom, you can still get an STD because the condom may break. You just want to think everything. You don't want to be, please, young people, don't be giving your, oh my goodness. If y'all can personally inbox me on Instagram, Deystany, DEYSTNY.way, and I can let y'all know, y'all, that's not what y'all want. You got to figure out how you're going to provide for that child, have the energy, have patience to deal with that child. Know that you need to protect. It's our duty about everything, to protect our child from everything, from their spirit, from the people they're around, making sure they're okay financially, that we're teaching them at a young age. We're not letting the TV and society and all this nonsense teach them. We have to do that. That is the hardest thing that we can do in our lifetime, is be a parent. And it's the most important thing. It's fragile. Because if you're not doing it right, eventually it's going to affect other people in a row. Because those same babies is going to grow into be adults, and whatever they do can affect us. You got to know that you got to protect yourself. Fight those urges. Be disciplined. Okay, you may be feeling to do that, and oh my goodness, you may think you love this man, and oh my goodness, you may think you feel good, but no. I guarantee you, if you weigh young people and you pray to whoever you believe in, you will be truly blessed. Just save yourself. I remember this girl, we're still friends on Facebook. I could forget her name. I shouldn't say her name, but I went to high school with her, and I remember she was telling me that she's saving herself because she know that her virginity is very dear to her. And she was a comedian, so when she was saying kind of funny, but I was inspired that I was thinking like, man, I wish I would have done that. And she was in high school, and she wasn't embarrassed about that. She wasn't embarrassed to say that she know that her virginity is dear to her. Young people know that that is special. You can't go giving that up, and once you give it up, you can't get it back. You cannot. So just think about things like that. I didn't do this, and my dad didn't do this with me. He didn't do it until after I was pregnant, try to make me cook and do all this. But since your child think they want to be a parent, let them go work for it. Don't buy their food. Don't pick them up from school. Let them work for that. You go hustle and get money, and you start paying the bills. Let them pay a cost of the rent and the bills and all that. See how they think they prepared for life and for having a children. Give them questions or scenarios. What would you do if this and that happened? Strengthen their minds, since they think they want to be grown and have these kids. Because if they're not prepared, but if they think they are prepared and they can't even pass the little test that we may give them, they definitely not prepared for the real world. We want to make sure that we are not setting our children up for failure. And although I think my dad did a good job raising 4 kids by himself, and yes, he did talk to me about that. He did do that, but he shouldn't allow me to have no boyfriend. And of course, yes, I was old enough to know like I shouldn't have, but he kind of condoned it. It was okay with him. Allow me to go to their family functions, and I'm sitting there doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. And it's like, come on. Instead, he should have been teaching me. I was running track, so maybe he should have been taking me to the park to practice track more. I wanted to go to the military. I was in ROTC. Surrounded me around people who were in the military. Or asking me what is it I wanted to do. I was also working with children. So he should have been helping me with stuff like that, keeping me busy. I had too much time on my hands. And I regret it till this day. All of my kids, I do regret my kids. And you can look at me however you want. I regret them because I wasn't prepared and I am failing my kids. It's like I brought these kids in a row and I am failing them because I didn't have the proper foundation. And now that I'm about to be 30, I'm trying to get it together. And it's kind of like, in a way, it's too late. I mean, I could do and fix what I can, but I regret having my kids, especially at that age. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have no kids at all because now I know, like, it's just a lot and I'm not prepared and I'd rather just have my freedom to do what I need to do and just work with kids. But it's so much. And a lot of parents won't admit that. I will admit that. It's too much going on. Whether your husband there or not, it's still a lot. Because if you did it right and you want to be a good parent, it takes a lot of time. You got to have a schedule, especially if you're working, you husband, you wife, you got more than one child, you teaching them about business and stocks. It's a lot. Yeah, that feeling feel good while you interacting in that, you know, making that child. But after that, then what? Parents don't want to be honest. It's a lot. And then as they get older, it get more difficult because then you got to deal with the preteens and them back talking and them thinking they grown and them dealing with different challenges. You got to think about it all. I urge you teens to think y'all want to be parents. Write down why you think you want to be a parent. Write down all the good things and write down all the bad things that can go wrong. And you see which one is greater. And be honest with yourself. Are you really prepared for that? You ain't even graduated school. Probably don't even know how to read and probably not at grade level. We worried about sex. We got to do better. Keep yourself, women. I don't care if somebody like you and y'all really teen sweethearts, y'all, they gonna wait. They gonna be there and when you ready to give yourself up. To after y'all got yourself together, everything's in order. We gotta do it. When you don't do in order, this is what you get. You get me. I'm a product of a teen parent. Being in domestic relationships. Being with different men and I shouldn't have. Not realizing my worth. It's sad. And I'm not afraid to speak that. Parenting, if the other parents won't tell you, I'm going to tell you it's hard. Extremely, extremely hard. And let alone a teen parent, it is hard. Because you're not going to always have that help. The grandparents not going to always be there. Your friends not going to always be there. They're going to criticize you for your parenting. And you may not even take the proper steps to make sure you're a better parent. Parenting classes. Domestic violence classes, make sure you don't get into that. Anger management classes, what are you doing to prepare yourself for that? Teen parent or not, what are y'all doing? What are we doing? We got to think about that. It's not cool. Stop. Don't worry about no boys. Don't worry about no girls. Don't worry about no sex. Don't worry about no oral sex. Worry about bettering you. And when the time comes, when the time is right, when you are mature enough to handle whatever risk comes with sex, then you interact with that. Save yourself. It's not okay. It's not cute. It's not nothing. Save yourself. That's why my formerly program, my NGO, Hope Village, is now going to be called something else, but it's going to focus on teens. How can I prevent them from being teen parents? That's what it's going to be about. How can I help y'all? Ask me any question. I want to help. Don't do it. It's not okay. We don't really know. We're not even fully developed somehow, some way, if we think we want to be a teen parent. I just want to be a help. I want to be a help to you guys. I will let y'all know the real. It's not okay. You will and you may die. So if you're not prepared for none of that, please don't interact in those activities. Those are grown-up activities. And even some grown-ups shouldn't be interacting in that. Because especially, for one, if your dad wasn't there, it's kind of hard. You're going to be lacking some things. My mom wasn't there. So I'm lacking a lot of things. I wasn't taught certain things, so I'm lacking a lot of things. You want to consider everything. This is all set out of love. And please, young people, do better with your time. You could be successful entrepreneurs right now if you wanted to. Stop worrying about the latest fashion and take that money and start a business. Save it. Save it for a house, or save it. Save it to travel to see the world. Do what you can. Be better than your family. Be better than your parents. Be better than me. I'm urging you guys, please be better. Y'all show your nieces, your cousins, your children this video and let them know. And if you know what, I'm urging anybody. I will give $100 to any team write me a full 1 to 2 page essay what they learned from this video, and if they can understand where I'm coming from. That $100 is an investment into your whatever you want to do. But I want you guys to contact me, leave it in the comments, leave me your email, and I will email you back. That's what I'm urging. What young people, what did you learn from this? I want to know in a 1 to 2 page paper why it's important for you to not have kids, and what you think where I'm coming from. Whatever you want to put in that essay. Whoever has the best essay, you win $100. I will get your parents' permission, but that's for you, because that's me sewing into your investment. If you want to start sewing something, $100 can start somewhere. It ain't much, but it can get you somewhere. So I'm gonna see if someone's gonna participate, but I want y'all to know that I really mean that. I'm here to help. I don't have much, but please don't go down the road that I did, that many other thousands of people did. Don't do it. You're better than that. You're more than that. You can achieve more when you just can focus on yourself. The children, the family, that come later on, okay? Y'all, please be better. We're going to get in Song of the Day. And don't forget to participate in Song of the Day, because my month is coming up. And so far, my son, and I think he kind of cheated, he the only one participated in it. But yeah, y'all, let's do better. We can do this.